Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to look at another one of those Pokemon that came out in VMAX Rising that we thought could be good, and it has now lovingly been confirmed that it is, in fact, good. It's Vikavolt. And we already liked the Vikavolt that came out in Unbroken Bonds, and it wasn't that long ago that I showed you a new winning list using the one from Unbroken Bonds. Now, the difference really is, well, we've basically got Inteleon, if you want to play it, Quick Ball and Evolution Incense. We now can actually get Stage 2 decks working, which makes me absolutely delighted. So, you know, that's quite nice. But we've also got a new Vikavolt here. And it's that new Vikavolt that I actually want to have a bit of a chat about this morning. So let's have a chat, shall we? And I should mention I've actually got 2 winning deck lists for this already, so might be a slight fringe deck here. But make no mistake about it, this is a very good deck that absolutely stands a chance. Now, starting off, of course, we do have the new Vikavolt, and the new Vikavolt we like very much indeed. It's got an attack for 1 lightning free colourless, it does 170 and then 30 to itself. This is fine. It's a decent attack on a single price Pokemon, it's alright. But the one we really like here is 1 lightning, 2 double colourless, 60 damage, plus 20 more for each energy attached to all of your Pokemon in play. So the theory here, of course, is that you pile energy on all of your Pokemon, and you don't need all the energy on Vikavolt, so then when Vikavolt goes down, you've still got a bunch of energy. This is fun. So the theory here, the question is, alright, how do we get it working? And the 2 lists we have here are extremely different. I'm going to show you 2 different deck lists in this video, and they are not the same. Now, the one that we could probably foresee a little bit more is the one that plays Rillaboom. Rillaboom's got an ability that lets you search your deck for 2 grass energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. The thing about Vikavolt is that it doesn't really matter what energy you use. Vikavolt doesn't do more damage for each lightning energy, it does more damage for each energy. So you can use Rillaboom here, which of course is very interesting and kind of nice, because let's not forget that Rillaboom is basically just a new version of the Vikavolt. Although that one did get a lightning and a grass, which would actually be better here, because you do need 1 lightning energy to attack with Vikavolt, but it's not the end of the world. We will be fine. So that one we could probably see coming. And then, of course, because we're playing Rillaboom, we might as well play Rillaboom V and Rillaboom V Max. Only a 1-1 line here. But Rillaboom V and Rillaboom V Max are very, very good Pokemon here. Rillaboom V goes and does a flat 220 damage for 4 energy. Rillaboom V Max does 130 for 4 energy, but you can discard up to 3 grass Pokemon attached to it, it's optional, and then do 50 more for each one discarded, which will put you up to 280, which does make a little bit of a difference. This is nice. You don't have to put a ridiculous amount of energy on all your Pokemon in play, and you just do big damage. It's not what you want to do all the time. You want to be using Vikavolt as a single prize attacker, but it is there as an option if you like. Now, that version does play 2 different Stage 2 lines, so we do need to play Meganium with this. It wasn't that easy to see on the deck list I've got, but it's a Stage 2 Pokemon that's got an ability and attack for a grass and 3 colourless, and when you search with those parameters, it is literally the only option. And of course, while we're accelerating a whole bunch of energy, why don't we use Cramorant V? Cramorant V's got an alright first attack, 1 colourless energy, search your deck for any 2 cards, put them in your hand, good in an emergency for getting your rare candy, etc. But really here, it's free energy, colourless, and you discard those free energy, and then do 160 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Hopefully a Dedenne. Although to be fair, it doesn't have to be a bench Pokemon, it could be the active, but usually you're using this to snipe the bench. And speaking of hitting other than the active Pokemon, this deck also plays an Appleton. Stage 1 Pokemon, and essentially what you do is once during your turn you can flip a coin. If heads, you get to swap your opponent's active with one of their benched basic Pokemon. It only lets you gust basics, but it does let you gust basics and this is inarguably a good thing. Unless you're playing against an evolution deck and they've got all those evolutions out already, because if they bench a basic, you can try and gust it up. 50% chance. Yeah, it's better than not having it, ladies and gentlemen. It's better than not having it. And of course, in terms of other Pokemon, probably the most important one here is Charger Bug, which you can attach to Vikavolt as 2 lightning energy. That's going to help to get your energy on very, very quickly indeed. Like super quickly. I do find it interesting that no decks, or at least neither of these 2 decks, play the other one, which can just hit 240 for 4 energy, but I do think the new Vikavolt is better. Now, the other list here doesn't play Rillaboom, so it then does play 1 copy, just 1, of Tapu Koko. Well, that's a lie. It plays 1 copy of Tapu Koko Prism Star, attaches 2 lightning energy from your discard to your bench Pokemon. The other doesn't play it because it literally only plays 2 lightning energy total. It's not worth it. And then a copy of Tapu Koko V. 3 energy, 200 damage on a Pokemon that has free retreat. That seems like a pretty good way to go here. Seems about right. And then that deck also plays Boltund. You see, Boltund has got that really nice attack that does, well, a base of 10 damage, but then 30 more for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And yes, Charger Bug counts double. So every Charger Bug here is actually doing an extra 60 damage, and that again is going to add up rather quickly here. So 2 very different ways to play the deck. One with Rillaboom and then a few little decks really relying on the stage 2s, and another just going full Vikavolt, but then with Boltund and Tapu Koko as fairly smashy attackers as well. Cool. Now, in terms of the trainer line here, I mean, you need to be playing Quick Ball if you're playing lots of basics, but not all of them do. The version that doesn't play Rillaboom plays Quick Ball, and they both play Evolution Incense, but the Rillaboom version actually goes Netball instead, because the vast majority of its basics are grass Pokemon, including Grubbin, from which Vikavolt evolves, and it also lets you search out a basic grass energy, so it's not just quite as simple as going, oh, let's play Quick Ball, because Netball here is actually a really good option, and Quick Ball makes you discard a card from your hand when you play it, which can be awkward, whereas Netball doesn't. Now, Lure Ball also becomes a really good option here. Lets you flip 3 coins, and for each head you grab an evolution Pokemon from your discard pile and put it into your hand. Clearly this is here to recover Charger Bug. That should be a little bit of a no-brainer. Now, one of the decks plays Electro Power here, the one revolving around the basics and just Vikavolt. Each one you play gives you an extra 30 damage. The other deck doesn't play Electro Power. Doesn't feel the need to. But it does play Turffield City Gym, which lets you search for an evolution grass Pokemon and put it into your hand. Because we're playing a Rillaboom line in this deck. And Turffield Stadium's great when you're playing a Rillaboom line. The deck that doesn't play Turffield Stadium just goes Power Plant here, turning off EX and GX abilities, slow your opponent down, give yourself a little bit of time to get set up. Seems like a fairly nice way to run things to me. Obviously, Rare Candy becomes a very important card no matter which build you're playing, and then after that it's kind of up to you. Ordinary Rod, to be fair, is very important for getting back Pokemon and energy. Really nice for getting those Charger Bug back. But like I said, the other deck does go for a bit of the old Lure Ball, and there is a strong argument here that Lure Ball is a better option. Although I'll show you the decks in a moment, it really is 2 fairly different builds of roughly the same deck, but with significant differences in them. Now, both decks do play Volkner, lets you search for an item card and a lightning energy. It's a great card in lightning decks. You shouldn't be surprised to see it popping up basically everywhere. But that's about it. One deck plays Cynthia as a great draw supporter when you shove your hand into your deck, and Green's Exploration as a one-off. Doesn't work if you've got any abilities on the board, and it plays a bunch of abilities, but it's good for getting Rare Candy Evolution Incense to get your stage 2 in the early game. Whereas the other one plays Professor's Research as a really aggressive supporter, and Marnie for a little bit of disruption, and a little bit of Rosa, because when you have a Pokemon KO'd, you search for a Pokemon, an energy, and a trainer card. And Rosa is amazing when you're playing a Stage 2 deck, because you can basically let a basic get KO'd, and then use Rosa to get Pokemon, Rare Candy, Energy, at which point you're basically set up with your Stage 2, and you can go from there. This is a really, really good deck. Like a really good deck. And I don't know which build is better, but I do know that it's one that I am absolutely enamored with, and I'm definitely going to be playing. I tried using the other Vikavolt, but I quickly came to the conclusion that it just wasn't good enough, because you couldn't set it up fast enough. Well, good news, ladies and gentlemen. Little bit different now. The list on the screen here is the one with the basics, with the Bolton, the Tapu Koko, etc. It's a little more straightforward, little bit more streamlined, a little bit more aggressive. And here is the Rillaboom list, which does play your Stage 2 Rillaboom. And I never actually told you what Meganium does. Meganium lets you play a Stage 2 directly onto a basic, even if it hasn't been down a turn, and even if you don't have your Rare Candy. And if you're playing a Vikavolt and Rillaboom deck, certainly putting in a 1/0/1 line of Meganium seems like a very good plan. But now we've reached that time of the video where I need you guys to tell me what you think about this whole Vikavolt situation. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wazzy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but we love them anyway. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.